Okay. First of all, our reaction to what the CS has said today about synergizing in the industry is actually a step in the right direction, and it actually is just affirming what we have been trying to work as an industry at the lower segment of the distribution value chain. We have tried to do that so much so that, and this is the inaugural conference, so that's why we have been able to organize and bring ourselves to have a national conversation on the ills bedeviling the distribution and supply of the petroleum in the country. What I must really loud about what the CS has said, and to a larger extent the policy that have been instituted by the government, is that they're going a long way in trying to find ingenious ways of dealing with the issues that we have been grappling with. For instance, you have just heard the pronouncement that the government through the Ministry of Energy, they are looking, the CS is all over the place looking for ways and means of getting cheaper fuel in a way that will not have to dismantle or disturb the existing infrastructure that is called the OTS, and also to leverage on our exchange, foreign exchange reserves. We don't have to keep on hemorrhaging the way we are hemorrhaging. So the government, as they have announced, they are looking for ways and means to have arrangements that would allow us not to have immediate need for foreign exchange. So that is a step in the right direction.
All right, Martin, in about 6 days, we expect the fuel prices to be announced.
Okay.
It is around on 14th of December.
Yes.
Now, from where you see, what needs to be done to bring the cost of fuel down?
Okay, what we need to do to bring the cost of fuel down is one thing we first of all have to appreciate, that it is not in our place to determine the geopolitical issues that have largely informed the prices of petroleum in this country. We have geopolitical issues, we have incoherent vices and acts of God that has all played from the pandemic to the war in Russia, that have all played to exacerbate the plight of the fuel industries in Kenya. But from our end, what we might want to do is to employ ways and means of having robust strategic reserves that would cushion the country in times of this kind of incoherent vices. Up until that is done, we remain very susceptible to market shocks and the dynamics within supply chain. Because if today there's an issue, even as a small place as the Strait of Hormuz, then a big issue becomes a part and parcel of the industry.
There's always been the argument that the landing cost is half what customers pay at the pump.
Yeah.
How do we address this? How do we bring the pump prices down, almost close to what the landing cost is?
So the issues of landing cost, what is over and above the landing cost is exacerbated by these issues that we have a lot of other inputs, including the taxation regime. But then again, taxation regime, like now, if you, for instance, you realize that taxes have not been increased in the last 2 years, but the prices of fuel have almost doubled. So I would want to tell members of the public that the cost implication, or rather the price of petroleum that we have today, is not cost majorly because of the prices. It is because of the oscillating and uncertainties within the international pricing regime, which now calls for things like weighted average, where the hedging happens in the high seas, and these people must make sure that they hedge themselves against the losses that could come owing to the market dynamics.
And lastly, one of the things that the CS touched about is the issue of adulteration, fuel adulteration.
Yeah. And
he was very bold in saying that some of his members could actually be part of that scheme. So maybe your reactions to this?
My reaction to that is that we are very much with the CS, and actually we are in the forefront of asking the government to really step in to make sure that they maintain the adulteration tax, so that the price difference between kerosene and super, which is currently at almost 50 shillings, is brought down to almost zero, so that we have, and we disincentivize the vice itself. And one of the best ways to do this, we may be asking the government to consider a price regime of weighted average, where the prices of super diesel and kerosene are almost equal, and that will stamp out that vice completely. And how do we do this, taking care of a political economy where we have to deal with Wanjiku? Wanjiku will be dealt with by subsidy on gas. If we can do that, then we can eliminate the issue of adulteration of fuel.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.